Happy Monday! Today is May 11th, 2020. Yesterday was Mother's Day. I hope everybody showed appreciation for the special ladies in their lives. Today we are going to read chapter 25 in our book, Among the Hidden by Margaret Peterson Haddix. And it's a short chapter, so let's get to it. Luke lay awake the rest of the night. At first light, he got up and quietly scrubbed away the mud Jen had tracked in and up the stairs. Trust her to not think about mud. He fervently hoped she thought of all the details about the rally. Luke was just finishing the last of the kitchen floor when he heard the toilet flushing upstairs. He hid the muddy rags in the trash and scrambled back to his place on the stairs, just in time to meet Mother coming down. "Morning, early bird," she yawned. "Were you up during the night? I thought I heard something." "I had trouble sleeping," Luke said truthfully. Mother yawned again. "And you're up early? Are you feeling okay?" "Just hungry," Luke said. But he picked at his food. Everything he ate stuck in his throat. After the rest of his family left, he risked sneaking over and turning on the radio on low. There were weather reports and commercials for soybean seeds and lots of music. Come on, he muttered, keeping an eye on the side window, watching for Dad. Finally, the radio voice announced the news. Someone's cattle had gotten out and caused a minor car wreck. Nobody hurt. A government spokesman predicted a poor planting season because of all the rain. Nothing about the rally. Dad came back towards the house. Luke snapped off the radio and bolted for the stairs. At lunch, Dad forgot to turn the radio on, and Luke had to remind him. The announcer promised a big story after the commercials. His sandwich gone, Dad reached over to turn the radio off. No, wait, Luke said. This might be interesting. Dad humphed and waited. The announcer came back. He cleared his throat and declared that the new government statistics proved last year's alfalfa harvest had set a record for the decade. It was like that for days. Luke kept waiting, desperate to hear anything. But the few times he could get to the radio, it said nothing. Every time Dad left the house for any length of time, Luke switched on the light by the back door, his old signal to Jen. He stared so hard, willing her to answer. He thought he would go blind at one point. But there was nothing. He took to watching her house as obsessively as he had when he first discovered her existence. There was no sign of her. The rest of the family came and went as usual. Did they look sadder, happy, worried, at peace? From a distance, he couldn't tell. He got so desperate he asked Mother if she'd thought about going to visit the new neighbors, to welcome them to the area. She looked at him as if he were deranged. "They've been here for months. They're hardly new anymore, and they're barrens," she said. She laughed in a way that it didn't hide her bitterness. "Believe me, they don't want us visiting." And what was she supposed to do? Say, "Nice to meet you. Now tell me everything about your child you never talk about?" After a week, Luke did feel deranged. Every time anyone spoke to him, he jumped. Mother asked him, "Are you all right?" So many times he took to avoiding her. But he just couldn't sit in the attic waiting. He paced. He fidgeted. He chewed his fingernails. He came up with a plan. So that is the end of chapter 25. And my question to you is to predict, what do you think Luke's plan is going to be? What do you think he's going to do? What's his next step? He hasn't heard from Jen. Did she go to the rally? Did she not? What's going on? So what do you think his next step will be? So you can type that into the comments, and I look forward to hearing from you, and I will see you tomorrow.